Alright guys, what it do? It's your boy X coming to you guys with another video, and in today's video we're gonna do a reaction to a Jubilee video that I was watching, and it must be reacted to. Like, I really want to react to this because this can really show you, the financial world and how people see it, and I just want to give my 2 cents on the matter. So let's just get into today's video. Alright guys, so before we get in the video, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and most definitely like this video. Let's get it.
As a real estate guy, I can make millions of dollars and use the exact same tax loopholes that a Donald Trump would use and pay effectively no tax. And does that make me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
And right off the back in the video, as you can see, we can tell it's gonna be a good one. Very heated, right off the back, like right off the back, heated. He was like, yes, that does make you a bad person.
Step forward if you agree. Being poor is a choice.
I do not want to be disingenuous to ignore systemic issues that we all experience, but I feel like it's 2021 and there's a lot of free resources. I mean, Facebook has a lot of free courses. I think that poor is also a mindset.
My answer to this question is being poor a choice. I'm gonna break this down into 2 concepts here. One, if you are an average person, somebody who already has a job, someone who's trying to make it, being poor is a choice. That's just me personally. Do not beat me up for it. I say that because there's so many ways that you can go about saving money, and if you're watching this video, just take into consideration yourself here. If you can actually manage your money better, that you can get things done as far as pay off debt, get that first rental property. It's just the idea of learning how to do that and how to do delayed gratification, so you won't reward yourself too early and you can keep your grind going strong. And my second part of the question is, being poor is a choice only because a lot of us can be born into very outrageous situations. We didn't ask to be here, and it's just extremely hard. But in situations like that, starting out, I mean, yes, it sucks, but I think you can still get out of that. It just takes a lot more hard work.
I agree. Originally, when I came out here, I started straight at the homeless shelter. I had to flee from domestic violence from my family. Most people in general don't choose to be poor, but since I've been here, specifically in LA, a lot of people outside, they don't want to come into the shelter because they'd rather be in the tent.
The lady said a lot of people would choose to be out, in those tents, or they'll choose to not be whatever the situation may be, because it seems maybe they're too prideful. I can tell you, hands down, being prideful and not being that person willing to ask for help, that can hurt you. And I know sometimes you just want to do it yourself. Sometimes so many people have done you wrong or told you no or help you, then asking something afterwards, or told you this, and then they try to backstab you later, like, oh well, I'm the reason you did this. I know it sucked, but don't be prideful, because that was me at one point. I didn't want to ask nobody for help. I went through my struggles by myself. I slept in my car. I kept it to myself, but eventually I realized if I can't reach out to the one closest to me, I know everybody ain't got those, of course, I understand it too, but for the ones that do, sometimes you gotta just bite the bullet, bite your tongue, walk in somewhere with your head held high and just, hey, I need help. It's okay. It's okay.
So I don't think that people can initially control if they're born into poverty, but I think that there is a certain level of control that comes along with being able to have that determination and that resilience.
Like, I can agree with you. Nobody chooses, hey, you know what? I want to be the brokest person on this planet. Nobody actually says that. No. So nobody actually wants to be poor. It's just you're born into it and you got to figure your way out. But truthfully, poor is a mindset.
Some people don't even want to be rich. Like, I don't want to be rich. Like, but I also don't want to be poor. I'm happy in the middle.
He said he doesn't want to be rich, but he does not want to be poor. But the thing about that is either one or the other. Like, when you hear them talk, they either talk about the 1% or the middle class. That's it. Like, that's literally it. Because technically, if you are anybody who makes, let them tell it, above the poverty line, if you're making more than $1,000 a month, you are above the poverty line. Any job out there, if you're full-time, technically you're not above, no, you're technically above the poverty line. So by default, once you're above that line, you're in middle class. So it's middle class, 1%. So it's just, I'm just saying, there's no middle ground really.
Billionaires should not exist.
I don't see how anyone could ever spend $1 billion. It's not a necessity to have that much money, and I feel like there is a certain cap in which, like, you can completely survive and thrive with this amount of money, and then if you surpass that, you're just hoarding.
All right, hey, my man is wild in this episode. Okay, should billionaires exist? I say yes. Why? Because take it how I look at it is it an exorbitant amount of money? Yes. Do billionaires just have it? Clearly. Should you stop them from having that much money? I say no. Why? Not because they're holding most of the wealth. I say no because people who gain, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of the people who gain that stature of billionaire, they may not specifically help you or, somebody you may know, but they do reach out and, actually help people.
And then we've seen what people with billions of dollars are doing with their money. They're going to space for fun. Like, Clearly, if we tax those people properly, get their wealth and distribute it to people who need it, that'd be a much better use than going to space for fun.
For Jeff Bezos, you want to take a shot at Jeff Bezos. Just because he's rich does not give you, a person who is not rich, the audacity and the power to judge him on what he uses his money on. Because he can easily turn around and say, hey, what you doing with your money? Are you getting braces? Just imagine, if you didn't get those braces, you could have got a college degree, or you could have did this. He's not doing that. So why should you shun him for wanting to live out one of his childhood experiences when he created a business that is now helping people around the world with jobs, high-paying jobs?
Personally, I don't think there's an issue with billionaires existing. The issue for me is that they need to be held accountable the same way poor people do. And I'm talking about the justice system.
When you look at a lot of billionaires who have gotten that way because of the just incredible amount of value they've given to society, I won't even talk about a huge, crazy billionaire. I'll talk about Jay-Z, who's a billionaire. He made amazing music. That's how he became a billionaire. And so I don't think it's the government's job to interject and say, okay, you have too much, we need to give it away. I mean, it would also never happen in any other arena. No one's gonna go, hey, Simone Biles, you have too many gold medals. We're gonna take them from you and we're gonna give them to the other people who weren't as talented as you.
I completely agree.
That was an amazing example. That is so true. They do not do that in the Olympics. They don't do it in the NBA. It doesn't matter how much for instance, just like he said, but in basketball, the United States Olympic basketball team destroys everybody. Now, do they just take pity on them and say, hey, y'all can't compete this year? No, they don't. That was a good example. Boom, I like this guy.
I completely disagree. I feel like that is the government's job. And Jay-Z, like you said, Jay-Z made his money from music. That's his labor. He's a musician. He's selling his talent. But then when he invested in the alcohol, then he's using other people who are harvesting the wheat, the agave, They're breaking their back. They're using their labor.
So do you think that you shouldn't invest in those people? Should they just like say, the hell with your dreams, I'm not going to invest in you?
I'm saying.
What about the job?
What do you mean?
They're having jobs.
Yeah, but how much are they getting paid for the jobs? Oh, those jobs in the third world where they're getting paid pennies.
Yeah,
and then Jay-Z
no
makes.
job.
All right, so what he's pretty much trying to say is, let's just say you have a company, right? Because this is the way I look at it, and I think a lot of people should look at it this way because it will help you better understand and grasp why. Let's say you have a company and it makes $1 million this first year, right? Now let's say 2 years later, that company goes upside down. So now you have to sell the company. If you have to sell that company, but in that 2-3 year span, your company has only made $3 million, but you owe $5 million, right? When you sell that company and cash out and do all this jazz, that loss goes to the owner, right? Not the employees. Same thing if you had like a lawn service. If you was cutting grass and the lawnmower just hit a rock and it knocked somebody's window out, even though the employee did it, the owner pays for it. Same as though if the company goes upside down. If it goes upside down, the employee is not at fault. The owner is. So with that being said, the owner is the one who foot the bill to buy the company, foot the equipment, foot your shirt you wearing there, footed everything, the light bill, he foots all these bills. So when it goes upside down, he's the one at fault. Somewhat like a loan with a car. If you're a co-signer on that car and your car get totaled or repossessed, it's the two people who own the car. Now, even though your son, your granddaughter, your best friend may have been driving a car, it has nothing to do with them because your name is on it. That's how you gotta look at the business. It's like, yeah, he makes the most, but he's the one who's taking responsibility, not you guys. And that's why they get paid the most. And it sucks, but if you don't want that to be, create your own business. That's the way to do about it. But a lot of people don't. Why? Because having your own business is probably one of the most hardest things you can do. Because everybody think, oh, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna work 5 hours a day. I'm gonna work 3 days a week. And then you get that business and you're working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you just like, my God, this ain't what I signed up for. But in hindsight, you want to be a business owner and that's what you signed up for. So I don't think he understands the concept, but I know where he's coming from. A lot of people think that way, that, oh, well, you're making millions, and then the supervisor's making hundreds of thousands, and then the manager's making tens of thousands, and I'm over here just making 1,000. That's not right.
I work for Disney in the entertainment character department, and I make around $33,000 a year.
How's your experience been working at Disneyland?
My experience working at Disneyland is very mixed. The workers themselves, like my coworkers, are amazing people. Unfortunately, the company is not so great. They don't pay us that much. They have enough money to pay us more. I think they should just pay us more. But I don't think they're gonna do that. That's why I'm advocating for a union to bargain in our favor.
That's crazy. I didn't know they got paid so little. That's wild. They probably should get paid for more than that. It's a lot to go into Disneyland. That's wild. But also with that, I know it sucks that their company don't pay a lot, but the best way to get back at a company like that, let me tell it, not financial advice, this is just me thinking, why not leave? Let's say all the employees leave and they try to hire some more employees. If people leave and you spread the word of why y'all leaving, maybe you have a better chance at them offering higher wages. Like now, during the pandemic, nobody wants to work. So what are these businesses doing? Okay, I'll pay you more if you will come work here. Why? Because they can't get employees. But as long as you're there working and you're just complaining about it, I don't see no different. That's why I tell people, treat the job how you are being treated. I work at the post office. Post office is a good job. I like, my job pretty straightforward. It's simple. I like it. If another job come down tomorrow and say, hey, I'll pay you more, I'm gone. Why? I'm chasing the bag. And if they offer more the bag, who cares? I'm just keeping it in a stack with you. I'm bag chasing. I'm not here for my whole life. I'm here to chase the bag. If this job don't want to help me pursue the bag at the most highest chance of getting the bag, I got to go. Gotta go. If you know a job that pay better than the post office, if I get send me the application, I'm on my way. I can do it all. Just give me about 30 days to learn what y'all doing. I do all that. No cap.
The economy is rigged.
I would actually.
If you're born in a rich family, you have more opportunities. And as someone who is poor, living paycheck to paycheck, you're stuck having to apply to jobs and settle for things that you don't like instead of being able to follow your passions.
All right. See, they said is the economy rigged? I say yes. Not rigged in the sense where it's there to keep you held down. It's rigged in the sense where the people who are rich, they can just get away with a lot of shady stuff. Like, money talks, right? So it's like, if you got the money, you can just get out of stuff. It just works for y'all. So for some reason, it must be nice, right? But that's how I think it's rigged. I don't think it's rigged to hold the poor down or to keep the rich rich, because there's a lot of rich people who lose their money. There's a lot of poor people who just don't know how to manage their money. So that is what it is.
I manage my own money. How much I make annually, sometimes I lose money, but I'd say on average over 10 million a year. I took care of my dad in the last years of his life. He died broke. I did not inherit my money. I made it myself. I really don't care about the money. Money is a tool for me to have the experiences that I want to have out of life.
Boy, Bill right here, this guy, the hedge fund who made 10 million a year, he made the statement that I personally don't like. His statement was, I don't care about the money. And my issue with that statement is, only people who say they don't care about the money are people who have an abundance of money. That's why you don't care about it. I'm trying to be that person. I'm not, but I'm just saying, if you're making 10 mil a year, for you to say, hey, it's not about the money. You're making 10 million a year. Of course it's not about the money. You can sneeze out a Ferrari and still go buy a Bugatti. Of course it's not about the money. I think that's such a odd thing for somebody who's making so much money to say. Just say money is not everything. And then we'll just move on. But to say the money isn't important to me, but you making 10 mil? All right, my God. So you guys have any type of statements or comments about these questions that they ask? What are your opinions? I would love to hear. Leave them in the comment. Let's talk about it. Really would like to hear about it. But do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Most definitely like this video. And it's your boy Exon, and I'm out.